Hello everyone and welcome to Trending in My Life, and today I'm on a day trip out of London at Whitstable. This is right outside the train station. What could be better than having a sign showing me where a castle is, where the harbour is. I've never been to Whitstable before, so let's go and explore. I can kind of see it now. We're going down this little lane because I can see boats, I can see a sail. So I think we're closer than I imagine. Let's have a look. Yes, as I said, closer than I imagined. Clearly a dog-friendly place. And there we go, we found the harbour. Within a few minutes of getting here. They do boat trips, obviously. I don't think I have enough time for a boat trip while I'm here. Maybe another time. Let's have a walk along the harbour then. Ooh, this is Greta. Let's have a walk. Oh, the dogs are protecting their boat. A mix of fishing and pleasure boat. All the buildings are painted black, which is a stark contrast to, you see later, Whitstable is famous for like coloured beach huts in rows along the beach. And the fishing boats. That's a very big boat over there. It clearly wouldn't fit into this part of the harbour. The history of fishing. They are famous for oysters in Whitstable. So they obviously sell seafood here later in the day. I'm here about 9 o'clock. The train got in about 9:10, which was intentional. You know, I wanted to be here early because it's going to be hot. The water looks lovely today. Oh, I can see why. Over this side, look, there's some yachts. There's that big boat over there. Let's walk this way. Whitstable has a sea sauna right on the beach, which has sauna rooms and barrels of freezing cold water to plunge yourself into as well. Now straight down onto the beach thing. There we go. Now I think this is called West Beach. We were exploring, we found the harbour and we found a beach, but not the beach I want to go to. So let's see if we can head in another direction now. Well, that was the harbour, and there is this plant of some description on the harbour, and I've no idea what it does. There we go, we found the castle and gardens, and there's the entrance, which definitely doesn't look open. Ooh, maybe there's probably a different entrance somewhere. Okay, let's follow this round. I just wanted to show you that there's a thatched cottage over there. It looks a bit like an ice cream shop this side. Yes, indeed, they sell ice cream. I'm trying not to get distracted from walking up this hill to find another entrance to the castle. So that's what I'm going to do. Here we go, Whitstable Castle. Now let me explain why it's a fake castle. Because it wasn't built as a castle. It was built as a tower, and then later a manor house was added, and then later some council offices were added. So the building itself has grown over the years, but was never intended to defend the country against invaders as a castle. Let's have a walk around it. and it's free to get in. Okay, we're just having a little wander around the part of the castle that's open. It was a private residence in the beginning, so these would have been the rooms that people lived in, and perhaps this was the dining hall, considering the chandeliers, and a piano as well for entertaining. Unusual ceiling in this room. Oh, that's kind of, maybe it was a sitting room, somewhere you sat. It's nice vases in all of the windows. There you go. And our walls. Okay, I think that's the only parts that we're allowed to walk around. Yeah, I think so. You can go along this bit. I think that's nice. They're having a doggy picnic, so that's why the rose garden is closed. Okay, we've had our tour inside. You can see actually that's the rectangular tower. Octagonal tower. So I think one last look from this angle. And now I'm heading for the beach. Okay, coming out of the castle entrance, I could see up here is like a headland. There's a cannon at the top, some benches to look out at the sea, and down there we can see some of those famous beach huts, all different colours, and the beach is just there, look, just there. So we're heading down there in a moment. You can actually see in the water there, I'm hoping the camera will pick it up, there's like a brown bit at a certain part, so I'm guessing that's almost like a sandbank in the water. So here we are at the cannons, the highest point of the hill. Pointed out at the sea. So I have to reverse back and pick this up on the path down to the beach. Okay, we're just going down the little path that leads to the beach. I've changed into my sandals so I can slip them off easily and have a paddle, which is my intention. I'm glad these steps aren't very steep, and it goes to a slope, to lower slope rather than a load of steps. And we can see the water just at the end. You can see the colourful beach huts, and they're in layers as well, they're like different heights. Very good use of space there. And there's got a stripy blue one there. There we go. I must admit, I'd want one that went right onto the beach, or, you know, these are the first row, if I had one. And let me tell you, I looked online about these, which is why I knew I wanted to come and visit them, but one sold last year for £150,000 for a beach hut. So let's stand back and have a look. There we go. Would you pay £150,000 for one of these? Well, I don't think so. It's not like you can live in them for long. We'll have to explore. Actually, even the front row aren't on the beach. I would expect them to be on this level, yeah, the promenade level, but they're not. They're still on stilts up above. Maybe the water comes into this level. Maybe that's why it's like that. As you can see, it is a pebbly beach. That'll be really loud on the microphone. I'm not really a fan of beaches with these groins that they call them, these wooden things. They are to stop erosion. They help keep the beach a beach without it all falling into the sea. But the problem with that is you can't stroll along a long beach. In order to get to the next little section from here, I have to go back up and step over. I can see the odd shell. Clearly they have a lot of brown weed. I can see that as well, but there are some shells. In fact, you can see weed in the water. It looks, in fact you can see that it shelves really steeply down into the water. Trying to decide what the bird is on that red post. I think it's a cormorant. Oh, I've seen a cuttlefish, which aren't fish, but you know what I mean. Look. There's a cuttlefish, the kind of thing you put in a budgie's cage, and they like sharpen their beaks on it. Interesting. Okay, we're going in. We're going in for the paddle. Ooh, there we are. Oh, that's nice. It's cool but not cold. It's just right. But yeah, just like 2 feet away from me, it just drops. I can see. So, whoa, I came in rather a lot. There, we've done it. We paddled at Whitstable. There we go, there's me and the water that I've just paddled. Yay! Ah, look, there's a whole big space of sand here. Yay! I'm just letting you enjoy the sound of the water for a moment. This really unusual rock, and I just look at that, it's so different. So much as it's heavy in my backpack, it's coming home with me. So we've got some people canoeing. There's rather a nice shell. Can you see how it's sort of glinting? I like that. I think that's my shell for the day. Okay, I'm saying goodbye to the beach, walking up this slope, which I hope leads to the ice cream shop. It's a nice view from up here. So there you go, look, I've got my cornetto ice cream, which I'm just going to sit and eat in the shade of this big baby tree. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and come back next time.